What's going on, fans of the PMC? Dr.V here today, bringing you our weekly power rankings for our second week of battles? Yeah, second week of battles, third week of power rankings. So, yeah, this week was an interesting week. We had some really good battles, and then we also had some not really good battles. And that's just how the week seemed to go on. So, yeah, I know that last week there was some confusion on how I did the power rankings. Some people thought Cloud had still given me his rankings and that his were on there, but I'm gonna explain that a little bit right now. So he should be back for next week's rankings. Unfortunately, this week he was just not able to join, and I, due to my schedule, it's really hard for me to get other people to join in. Just my schedule and Cloud seem to line up pretty easily. But yeah, so on the left hand side of the rankings this week are going to be where I had everyone placed last week, and on the right hand side is where they're at this week for power rankings. So hopefully that clears things up a little bit more, and we can just get started here now. So first off, on number 12 is Maxx and the Maxximum Charizards. Now, this was one of those not so good battles. And that's putting it lightly. It just did not seem like he prepared at all for this match, and it showed, seeing as 4 of his mons got destroyed rather quickly by a Tornadus that was running a fairly average set for a Tornadus, really. I don't understand what was going on here, but Tornadus is known to have all that coverage for everything, so it just seemed like he was not prepared for it and that he didn't plan on it. So I think that putting him at 12th is where he belongs for this week. He definitely took some steps back from the previous weeks where he had done a little better and was even close to winning or had a chance to win the matches. This week there was just no chance at all to win them, so that's why he's at 12th. So moving on to number 11th. This was also it wasn't a great match, but it wasn't a terrible match either. So we have Roshan and the Detroit Solgaleos at number 11. Now, this isn't a knock on Roshan or anything. He did fairly well considering how little time he had to actually prep with this team before his battle. Unfortunately, we did have a drop with the Bermuda Triax, so we do have to keep going on, and Roshan was willing to come in and help, and now he's coaching the Detroit Solgaleos with a team that he didn't draft, so he's getting used to it all, and it showed that he wasn't ready with this team during the match. But Kyle played the way that he did, with just going straight into the offensive, and it worked out for him as Roshan lost the 4-0 this week. So yeah, I think that he can definitely do better, so I'll be interested to see how he keeps moving on through these, and hopefully he can raise his ranking. So up at number 10, down one spot from last week, we have Orso and the Windsor Weaviles. Now, this week he went up against CJ and the Baltimore Oriolus, and he lost the 2-0, but the thing is that it seems like CJ was in control the entire match. I didn't really see a point where Orso really had a chance to turn it around, or so it just seemed like CJ out-prepped him a little bit more, and yeah, unfortunately he has to drop down a spot since he did lose this week, and it's the way that power rankings work. You win, you go up, or stay the same, or you lose and you go down. But overall, it was not a bad match. Actually, it was rather interesting. to watch it all, but it just, like I said, I didn't see any point where he could have taken control of that match. So up to number 9, dropping down 3 spots actually this week, is Dolphin and the Volgate Zoroarks. Now, this one, I do admit it might be a little harsh to drop him down this much, but considering he only lost a 2-0, but it was that same thing where he could have lost a lot worse than he did this week. He never had the initiative throughout the match. His big hitters, which he brought this week in Mega Aerodactyl and Greninja, they were destroyed rather quickly and fairly easily, honestly. Like, he managed to stall it out for a little bit with Vaporeon, but in the end it didn't really do enough, so that's why he is falling down 3 spots to number 9 this week. If I had seen him probably do a little better with keeping some of his hitters alive, I think he could have done more, but he just got beat. That's all there was, so that's why he's moving down. Number 8. I actually have CJ and the Baltimore Oriolus staying here at number 8. Now, my reason for this is he played well, but he didn't overwhelm Orso. Like I was saying, he did have the initiative most of the entire match, but there was definitely some plays that were questionable, I would say, that he could have done a lot more with. So I think CJ can do better, so I can't really justify moving him up even though he won this week. But yeah, so I'm keeping him at 8, and that's pretty much where he's gonna stand for right now. Like, I definitely think his team can do more, and just, yeah, there's still some things that I'm not sold on, like the Musharna. I really think that he should just drop it, but that's my own personal opinion on this, as are the rest of these rankings. So yeah, moving up to number 7, we have Kyle and the Mesquite Mesprits. Now, he moved up a couple spots from number 9 to 7 just because of the way he overwhelmed his opponent. Like, I understand, like, I get it that Roshan didn't have much time to prepare, which is why I had him at 11th for this week, but at the same time, he did get completely overwhelmed, really. It was just a relentless assault, really. There was just not much that he could have done to win this match, honestly. And Kyle actually did a really good job of spreading his kills around. He got 2 with Mega Metagross, 1 with Exploud, 1 with Conk, and 2 with Roserade. So he used his team to get whatever he needed to get done, and it paid off for him. So as a result of that, he is moving up to number 7 this week. Now, for number 6, I have Spencer and the Washington Talonflames. Now, he did lose this week, so he is down a couple spots from 4, but he played against RG, who was last week's number 1, and has a really terrifying team, honestly. Right now, looking at the kills that RG's team got on here, he got 2 with Mega Venusaur, 2 with Volcanion, and 2 with Haxorus. That Mega Venusaur and Volcanion is just, it's hard to get over, really. Like, there's not much that can hit them both very hard, and it causes a problem for people. So he did get beat 4-0, so I definitely think he can do better, but again, this was against a team that's just terrifying to go up against, and I thought that overall throughout the match, even though he got beaten, it wasn't as though he it wasn't as though he wasn't prepared. It was just that RG prepared better this week. Is really what it came down to. The teams that they brought matched up fairly decently, and yeah, it could have very easily been a smaller differential, but in the end, RG managed to prevent it, and as a result, Spencer drops down 2 spots. So moving on to number 5, we have Jack and the Maryland Mienshaos. Now, I did move him up this week. He won the 2-0 against Dolphin, and again, this one was one of those matches where I thought he could have won much more than what he actually did. He was in control the entire match, and it just didn't seem as though Dolphin had really any points where he could have turned it around and won this match. So props to Jack, moving up 2 spots to number 5 for this week. And I think that he is definitely someone to watch out for. He has a strong team with his cores and everything, so he can go on the offensive, he can go on defensive. So it's definitely a scary team to watch out for, and it's something that I think he'll continue to rise through these rankings, depending on how the top 4 do. So moving up to number 4, we have Trev and the Atlanta Braviaries. So he did move up 1 spot to number 4. This was mainly because I had to move someone down, really. But like I said, he did play against Maxx this week, and I think he could have easily gotten a 6-0. So he played everything how he needed to play it, and he literally destroyed Maxx's team with 1 mon. It caused most of the damage. So yeah, he moves up 1 spot this week to number 4. Not much else I can say about it, really. I don't want to dwell on that match anymore, really. So good job to Trev. Let's see if he can continue rising through these power rankings or if he falls. But number 3. Now, this one was a little tough for me because he did lose, but we have Akki and the Portland Crobats at number 3. So this one was a really close match. It was fun to watch throughout, and yeah, it was fun to watch throughout. So there's not too much that I can say about it apart from that. Like, there was momentum switching through both sides, and in the end, the Genesect is what made the difference. So yeah, the Genesect is what made the difference, and it's proving why it's a Newber's mon and probably should not be allowed into league formats. It does seem to, it's over the 2 weeks it's gotten 3. They got 3 kills this week, and they got 3 kills last week. So yeah, it's definitely a mon that probably should not have been allowed in the first place, but it is what it is now. And moving on to number 2, we have Adam and the Kansas City Kakunas. Now, he did move up 1 week. Him and Akki just traded places, basically, just because of how close their match was. I couldn't justify dropping Akki any more than that. Like I said, it could have gone either way really easily, and it just happened to swing into Adam's way, and he moves up to number 2 because of that, as Akki drops down to number 3. So Adam has a really good team. Again, I like this team, and I can definitely see it doing some. It's definitely a viable team to use throughout league formats. So that just leaves number 1, which remains unchanged from last week, being RG and the New York Metagross. Again, this week he played well. He did what he needed to do. It's just that Volcanion and Mega Venusaur core. It's tough to get over. Volcanion's another one those ones where it's currently being tested out in league format, seeing how it does. So it might not make it to the regular season depending on how it does, but then again, it might. It's just a matter of seeing how it does throughout the season. And for now, it's looking like it's a powerhouse. So it's gotten 4 kills in the past 2 weeks, so that's not bad at all. 2 kills per game. It's not great, but it's not bad. So right now, it's looking like it's probably going to stay throughout, but we'll see. And yeah, congrats to RG for being the top player for the the top ranked player in the 2nd week in a row. So hopefully he can keep it up. So yeah, again guys, these power rankings are all just based off my opinion. It's not knocking on anyone, and well, it kind of is. It's knocking on their matches, but that's all I'm basing it off of, really. Like, if they played good, as you saw, even if they lost, I didn't necessarily drop everyone down, or if they won and didn't win in a way that I thought deserved to move up, they didn't move up. So I thought that this was a fair way to do this, and yeah, that's about it. So until next time guys, again, Cloud should be back next week for power rankings, so we will have both our power rankings up on there. And yeah, later.